So Pokemon got a new series, huh? Well, Pokemon, Pokemon, Pokemon. Goddamn, those Mad Lads. I didn't think they'd do it. I didn't think they'd do it. I thought we were gonna be in an endless cycle. I thought we were gonna be in this endless loop. Hey, also thanks Navy for the subscription, and also thanks Navy giving a gift tier subscription to Lightning. Really appreciate that. Give huge shout outs to Navy. You already know we gotta go with it. I like that soundbite so much. I'm pressing it again. But every time, you know what? We're gonna do it for every time Navy does a subscription. That's his exclusive one since he's subscribed the most. Um, but yeah, we love it. So, Pokemon, they got a new series. That ain't Ash in the picture. That ain't your boy Ash. Who them? Who they be? Who they is and who they be? Who they is and Pokemon who they is and Pokemon who they be. I want somebody to make like a video game cover art of Rico on one side and Roy on the other, and just Pokemon who they is and who they be. I love it. I love it. I'm here for it. I am 100% here for it. According to Twitter, and I haven't Pokemon. That's the third one. Pokemon Who Dat. If they get a third companion, it's gonna be Pokemon Who Dat. Which I think they're probably gonna save the third companion for later, just because these two are probably the primary focus, and then the new companion will probably be somebody that's like not into catching or battling or whatever, but is like a third person. And from the look of it, it looks like Rico is the main character because she's front and center, at least on the poster. So it looks like Pokemon not only taking a new step with the main character, they're making a female protagonist, which is super huge if you're into anything that's remotely shonen. I remember in Pokemon Diamond and Pearl, we thought we were going to get that with Dawn, but she wound up taking a backseat to Ash. By the way, Rico and Roy aren't their names; they were fake. Oh, okay. Well, I'll call them that for now, and then when they get changed, we'll adapt it appropriately. This series sucks now because Ash ain't here. What? No, Ryan Sword, I love it. I am 100% here for it. Ash was 26 years old slash 10. Uh, what can you do with that character? This is the Pokemon company we're talking about, by the way, guys. They're not going to sit up here and do massive steps. Although I do want to briefly, before we get into this, talk about the epilogue series, Ash's final chapters. Honestly, I'm surprised they're actually making that. Oh yeah, no. All right, so I pretty much got it. We'll tackle that in a minute. But I do want to talk about Ash's final chapter series, which I guess is composed of 11 episodes, right? I think it's like 11 or 12 episodes, and it's like I want to say it's like Ash's like final stuff. Like they're gonna go ahead and just iron out most of his other things because I knew they weren't gonna end it with Journeys like that. There's no way. Like that ending to Journeys is nice, but it's not Ash's ending. It doesn't feel like an Ash ending thing. And it feels very much like they were just sort of trying to get Journeys off the calendar so they can check it off and go, yeah, we did it. The true ending would obviously be those 11 episodes. And I'm glad I think they realize how big of a step this is to make a character last for 26 years and then finally pass the torch over to some new characters. It's definitely a heavy turn to make. And I think they know they can't do it just off of they can't whiplash turn it. They can't do it on the drop of a hat. So they're taking their time and they're slowly transitioning with it. And honestly, that's fine for me. That's completely fine. So long as we keep this consistent, if we keep this turn consistent and don't backpedal, I sound like I'm directing a car right now. So long as we keep this turn and don't back to pedal it, I am completely down for. I think 11 episodes is definitely a good finisher for Ash. I think that's fine. At least for these 11 episodes, no character will have focus except for Ash. That makes sense. He's the one leaving. He's the one that's headed out. I think it's the most appropriate for him. I definitely feel like this is a fine transition, and I'm looking forward to those 11 episodes. What's up, Pantomime? Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to those to Ash's final chapters. No, we just started. So yeah, I'm looking forward to Ash's final chapters. I think those will be fine. Um, I think that's a great step because again, it's weird. It's 11 and not 12. I don't know. I can't even answer. I guess like it's 10 plus like a bonus situation is how I'm always liking to think about it. It's probably 10 episodes plus the finale episode will be like the juicy bonus. Maybe, I don't know. So how do you feel about the Pokemon news, Pantomime? I am completely ecstatic. I love it. I'm here for it. And I think without further ado, I mean, before we go into it, what are you expecting from Ash's final chapters? Now, keep in mind, this is Pokemon, so I don't know if they can do anything super, super big, but I do want to see, I guess, this is the moment. Now, this is the time. Back in Journeys, when people were like hoping that, like, oh, I hope Ash does this in Journeys or this in Journeys. Now, scratch that. Scratch all that. These 11 episodes are where you should start getting your, like, fantasies going, but not to, but I would still remain cautiously optimistic. I feel like I feel like he should meet all his old companions truly for the final time at this point. Something to really let us know that his journey's wrapping up. Cause now we are Journeys was a series that was for the fans, but still was supposed to be obligated to tell a solid story, which it didn't really do that well. But this series, the Ash's Final Chapter series, I don't think it has those same chains attached to it. I feel like Ash's Final Chapters is truly a series, I'm sorry, meant to wrap up Ash as a character. And if you're going to wrap him up this way with 26 years under his belt, then 11 episodes is perfectly fine. I believe these are the ones that should be more for the fans. These are the episodes that definitely should be like Ash meets um, his Brock and Misty again, and they have like a fun little episode where they just chill and hang out. Ash goes to like see one of May's contests or something like that. Ash goes to Lumio City to hang out with Clement and Bond. These are the episodes where these can happen now. Because back then, I never really cared for returns just for the sake of nostalgia. But for these 11 episodes, it's perfectly fine because we know the objective is to get Ash to smoothly leave. And I feel it would have been disingenuous, sorry, Journeys to just end and this to just start. Like, I feel like a lot of the fans who have been with Ash the whole route would have had this huge level of whiplash, and it would have definitely gained them this level of disdainment towards the new characters. Which I want to point out, I know this is unrelated, but I was streaming Bayonetta 3, the finale, not so long ago, on Wednesday, actually, a couple of days back. And when I streamed Bayonetta 3, for those spoilers, it feels weird that they're doing this. It feels like this is a continuing theme. I won't get into too much detail, but I'm noticing this continuing theme of the new generation, of the passing of the torch. And honestly, again, I'm here for it. I'm embracing it. We were in an era that kept reusing and regurgitating a lot. So I'm so glad to see that we're moving forward. This is it. Like, I love stuff like this. I love transitioning to something new. Even if it's good or bad, it doesn't matter. It everything starts with something. And I feel like there was nothing more they could do with Pokemon, or at least with Ash. So the only logical step is to start fresh. Let's read some of the comments before they build up too much. Wow, really? I'm guessing. I guess I'm using like traditional seasonal anime numbers. Yeah, you should see his Twitter message when he responded to the news. Oh yeah, that's when I did the tweet response, which got like well over almost 200 likes. By the way, thank you, you guys. I appreciate it. Um, but what if they originally were going to have Go and Koharu be the start for the next series, and then suddenly some intern made them do these two new characters? That'd be funny. We pretty much have to be cautiously optimistic because Journey's team still is on. Yeah, but this time they have a new start. I think with Journeys, they had an obligation to use Ash a lot, and because Ash is in the series, he takes up a lot. Like, having Ash in a story automatically means you have to write with the notoriety that Ash is in it. Now that there's no Ash, there's no boundaries. There's no limits. You can do basically whatever you want at this point. And I think I love that a lot more. Obviously, they can't really shoot for like big romances or huge bloody edgy or anything. They can't go those directions. Those are like more young teenager, young adult teenager routes. Um, but here, it's Pokemon. So every experience we get as of this point, once this series starts, is going to be fresh. Let's see. Give him a proper send off, honoring the character and giving him some fan service. Thank you, Tactical Groot. What's up? Pantomime said, right. Yeah, Brock and Misty being there kind of bothers me since I'm afraid they'll take up time for gags. I think they'll keep the gags. I think they'll have Brock do one romance gag and Misty do the ear pulling gag. And then they'll have Ash play and Misty playfully argue. But I think that'll just end it off from there. Pretty much look at the description. Fresh faces. I'm hyped for the new. I just want consistent stories, so hopefully this series will give me that. Why do you think they didn't use Bonnie or Max as the new lead characters? I think because they're still too bound to Ash. And I love, like, even now, I'm starting to see a lot of people come up with this because I saw this picture a while back on Twitter. If you notice the hair clip on this new girl's hair, it looks like Ash's hat. So everybody's like automatically throwing in, oh, this is Ash's daughter, and that's Go's son in the back. No, 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 no. I don't want that. Now obviously I'm only 1 for 2. If I'm 2 for 2, then this series was clearly made for me. But I say no to that. I reject all of that only because I I don't like when you're world building, right? When you're making a fictional series and you're world building and you introduce these very new characters, you can't have every character be related. Watch this age like milk, and get lambasted on the Bird app. Yeah, you can't. I don't. I mean, if it happens, it happens. But I prefer that it doesn't. You can't have every character be related. The reason being is because when you're writing fiction, right, and you're world building, it is not best to make everybody happen to be related to each other in some point. What it does is that it shrinks the scope of your world. It makes everything too it makes everything too convenient. And that's what I don't like. I don't want them to do that. I don't want them to sit up and look, that's Ash's daughter. No, don't make it a JoJo situation. Even with JoJo, with JoJo, yes, the characters wind up being related, but at least in that one, the joke is that it's a whole family line of problems. It's kind of like Castlevania. Like the Belmonts will always have to deal with Dracula. That's always been the case. So that's the theme of that story. But when you're making an open like world series like Pokemon, it's best that you can. The best part about Pokemon is that Ash isn't an exclusive trainer. Like, oh, Ash is the only one that can have Pokemon or something. No, everybody can. Everybody's journey can make a story out of. You can make a story out of anybody's journey. Anybody with the Pokeball has the power to shape out their own story. That's the point. That's always been the point of Pokemon. The power is in your hands. You can do whatever you want. So to make these two characters related to Ash just feels like it's too tethered to the idea of Ash himself. Whereas here, you have a chance to make a completely fresh start. You don't have to reference Ash at all, actually. Or if you do, have them have slight cameos in some episodes as a callback. But outside of that, don't make your character related to Ash at all. Now, you're probably thinking, well, what about the hair clip? Why does it look like Ash's hat? I want you all to pay attention to when Ash got the hat in the first place. He explains it in the Mankey episode. He got that hat because he won it from a sweepstakes because he entered a bunch of box tops in. So as far as I'm concerned, anybody can have that hat. It's a Pokemon League Expo hat. So that means anybody has the capability of having it. So I would like to argue that the Pokemon League Expo isn't exclusively for Ash. That's something everybody knows like what it is. It's worldwide. So I like to think that the hair clip is a callback to Ash, but I don't want it to be a direct genetic link to his character. I don't think that needs to be the case. I think the hair clip is just a symbol of letting you know, hey, we're coming from an area where we knew who Ash was, and this is like the torch that's being passed. So that's what I see it as. Watching female leads doing gyms would be fucking great. Ash is gonna be the father reveal at the end of Scarlet and Violet. Oh no, please no. Also, don't know if this will be on Ash's timeline. It could be like Yu-Gi-Oh! Did with Zexal and everything this series onwards. They took place in their own universes. That's an idea. And that's cool too because they don't have to be bound by old stuff that happened. Maybe it's a brand symbol for familiarity. Tactical Group says facts. It only lasts for one series. It would be cool if the new main characters were inspired by Ash to be Pokemon Masters. Exactly. Now, you can have an inspirational made character. That's fine. That's fine. But to make them directly related, that's the problem Boruto had. Because actually, I saw my friend Samurai. He had made a quote retweet to what I said about the series. I was like, I was happy for the series. And then he said, now Boruto it. Which essentially means, oh, now that the new generation has the series, they're going to flop and not do as well as Pokemon. The problem with Boruto is that it's coming right off of Naruto. So everything that happens afterwards is built off of the plot of Naruto. Naruto, unfortunately, is also coming from a line where most of the things in the plot are singularity themes. For example, the Great Ninja War brings literally every country together, essentially for world peace. So the series is to beg the question, what do you do after world peace? Whereas Ash's journey, all he became was a world champion. That's about it. He became a world champion. That means every other trainer can still do their journeys. Nothing's held down by it. Nothing is influenced by it. It doesn't change anything. It doesn't warp anything. There's nothing that can be done that would really disrupt that level of progression that Ash did. Ash didn't do anything to shape the world in and of itself. He's an inspirational piece, yes, but he doesn't become like the president or God or anything. He just becomes a world champion. That's about it. So, unlike Boruto, where Naruto essentially makes world peace, and then you gotta wind up thinking of some enemies that are better than that right afterwards in a series that doesn't have Naruto as its main character, and instead is Punk Kid, who winds up being super talented but yet still annoying. That's where problems start to come through. Here, there's nothing really to mess up in this sense because this girl's journey and this guy's journey are completely brand new. We don't know what's going to happen next. And that's the best part about Pokemon. And it's one of the reasons I've always wished that Pokemon had done something like this. Digimon, Yu-Gi-Oh!, all those other Beyblades, those series have done this formula before. And yes, haha, make the joke, Pokemon's been late. Pokemon's late doing things that other series have done for years. But the point being is that now that we're finally into that era where Pokemon's doing that, the best part is anything can happen. And that's the greatest part. Is that in this series, and thank you for the 19 viewers, by the way. Hell, even Yokai Watch did it. Exactly. The best part about that is that now our expectations always reset based on whoever we're given. Nobody's expected to ride the same level as Ash. No one's expected to do all the same things that Ash did because everybody's journey is different. This girl could start off as a terrible Pokemon trainer, but that works because it's her first. Whereas Ash was terrible in this region, we get the best wishes effect all over again, and people will be completely mad at Ash's incompetence. We can adjust to what comes next now. Exactly. Because our expectations are lower now. And I say between this and Marvel, Phase 4 and 5, and all the other things that are coming from Marvel, I finally feel like we're reaching a new era. And I'm happy for it. Like, I'm glad to see progression. I really didn't like the idea, and we were going through it for a lot of years where things had to be renewed, rebooted, remastered, redone, call a comeback series, all of that. I was getting so sick of that. So it's good to see something fresh take place. It's good to see something new. And from the looks of it visually, at least from the first episode, by the way, uh, Marvel has Phase 4, which means after Phase 3, that was the end of the whole Thanos arc and the Infinity War and everything. And we got rid of our old Avengers, Thor, Hulk, Iron Man, Captain America. We got rid of those and we wound up with new Avengers. Now we got like Spider-Man, Shang-Chi, uh, Shuri, Black Panther, uh, Miss Marvel, Moon Knight. We're getting new characters now. So that's pretty much what I mean by Marvel. It's like we're entering a new era. What's up, Cosmic? So yeah, between like the new phases of Marvel, I did say Shuri. um, between I think I mixed her up with I mixed up Shuri and the other character and I fused their names together on accident. Anyway, point is between this and like I said about Bayonetta 3 and how it ends, I'm not gonna spoil it. And now watching the Pokemon stuff, I'm glad. I'm glad to see we're entering this new step. I'm glad to see we're really embracing the new because that's what we've needed. I think that's what we've needed for a long time. Uh, the visuals for the up and coming new Pokemon anime look a step upward compared to other anime before it. Yeah, I would agree with that. I want to say that's probably because I think this was probably their main project. I think their main project was this. I think they really wanted to start off fresh. So they had most of their anime workers work on those final Leon fight episodes. And then the final part of the Leon fight episode. And then after that, they ended up moving towards this. Like, I think this was their main, like, project. I want to say they were probably working on this while Journeys was still happening. I would argue that. Is there anything specific you'd like to see happen in this new series? I mean, honestly, I want to see just how these characters grow. I want to see what step they take. We have two main characters, and I want to see exactly what they'll do here. Like, it looks like one of the one main character in the middle, she had the female main character, looks like she's got some jewel that looks like it's relevant in some way, shape, or form. I do like that she's keeping the blue while the other character's keeping the red. So they're doing the primary colors, red and blue. So that I like that call out actually. That's pretty cool. I am curious. I am curious to see exactly how that'll go. I wonder what I'm very curious to see what the girls' team is going to be and the guys' team. Those production issues still worry me because we don't know if they got more people or not. That explains why Journey's anime was mostly lackluster, probably just accessory. We don't know the odds happening are low given how the mainline Pokemon is. Yeah. Now I know what this decision's also gonna do. I like how Ash used Greninja, Talonflame, and Pikachu and XY. Yeah, it was the blue, red, and yellow, which is the primary colors, which catch our eyes. I like that. Um, what was I gonna say? Oh, I wanna I'm very curious what occupation these trainers are going to take because Pokemon's actually been pretty free roamed about how they handle occupations now in terms of what a trainer does. Some trainers obviously will go up and probably just like in Scarlet and Violet, the video game. Some trainers will go off and like make sandwiches and fight the Titan Pokemon. There could be a Team Star plot going on. Um, there could be like obviously the gym challenges. We got a lot of possibilities going here for what could happen in terms of how these characters approach this new setup. Also, Paldea is a huge region. It's a huge, wide range, large, open region. So I'm really curious how they're going to take advantage of that. I'm very curious to see how this girl and this guy, we'll use the fake names for now, Rika and Roy, are going to handle just this large world that they got. Assuming she gets an electric Pokemon, big question: are there dual characters, or is the girl the protag while the boy is a side character? Well, they put her in front and center, so I want to say she's probably the main protagonist, while the boy's probably a duotagonist, just like on the side. Um, that's what I'm assuming, at least. from what it looks, the girl is the protagonist and the boy is likely either the duotagonist or sidekick. Yeah, okay, Aqua and I pretty much said it at the same time. See, the big question is, will these characters last for 3 years, or will Gen 10, or will they last 25 years like Ash did? I I think that depends on how well reception is. If they're well received during their first round, I think they'll probably use the characters again. Although, if you don't have Pikachu as the main character, it's harder to do that. I will say it's probably hard to do that because in reality, while we say Ash was the reason they kept it going, it was mostly because of Pikachu. Because Pikachu is supposed to be a universal thing through every region. Or here, it looks like her main Pokemon right now is Sprigatito, which means if they go to the next region, she would either have to dump Sprigatito and start completely fresh, or B, she's gonna have to catch a Pikachu and do the same thing Ash did, which I really hope they don't do, just because I want her to come into her own as a character, and it's hard for her to do that if she keeps taking all the steps Ash takes. We've had a series that didn't have Pikachu as the focus, like Pokemon Origins. Yeah. Um, Honestly, I wouldn't be against the idea of a new protagonist every time. I feel like we kind of just need to do that. That way people can choose which series they like. And then funny enough, have other characters cross over into other series as time passes. But don't make it the main focus. Make it like a 1, 2, maybe 3 episode thing. Something that like happens every now and then, but they don't make it like the main thing. Also, thanks for the 22 viewers. Pikachu is basically the Mickey Mouse of the Pokemon franchise. Yep, Japanese Mickey, maybe Palmy like a Pika clone. But I think Palmy ends up different because it has a evolution into Palmon. Unless they go the Pokemon route and choose to not have Palmy evolve. But that would be a decision in and of itself that they would need to make. I think we can kind of confirm also, Palmy will probably wind up being one of the Pokemon that this girl ends up catching. Like I think that'll pretty much be like a confirmed thing. Because usually they wind up always trying to have the Pikachu clone appear in each series. Like and except in AG. In AG they didn't have Pachirisu and Minun. Not Pachirisu. Plusle and Minun, I'm sorry. They didn't have Minun show up at all. But in Diamond and Pearl, Dawn had Pachirisu and Best Wishes. Iris had Emolga, even though it was completely out of place because it wasn't a dragon type. And XY, Bonnie had Dedenne, and Sun and Moon, Sophocles had Togedemaru, and then in Journeys, James had Morpeko. So we always wind up with a Pikachu clone owned by somebody up to this point. I think after AG, they decided to do that. They had plus and minus show up in AG. They did, but they weren't owned by main characters. I think it wasn't Ursula who had them. It was somebody. They showed up for an episode, but I can't remember what the relevance was. So like GX in a way where Pegasus, Grandpa Moto, and Kaiba for that one episode. Yeah. If they have Nemona, she should get Palmon. Yeah, I guess that would make sense. I understand what I'm getting at, that these were basically like side things. So the more creative freedom is taken, unlike it was in the case of the mainline Pokemon anime, where it seemed like they were following those guidelines. It was like a fog episode. Johto was excluded because Pichu. Yeah, yeah, they had a couple of Pichu episodes, but Pichu itself never got owned by a trainer. But yeah, one of the things I'm really looking for, I want to see the battles. Like I'm really hoping we get some X and Y style battles. I really hope we get like the camera whipping around. I really hope we get like the cool animations. What's up, Serial Guy? Because at this point, I want to say this, and I know people are gonna have this huge argument about it on Twitter, because this has happened before. But visuals, especially now, I think are going to be very important because first impressions. If this series ends up looking like trash, people are going to drop it before they even give it a chance. I want this series to really embrace the visuals, really make everything look good. And what I mean by that is I want to see that level of I want to see that level of love put into this. And you can tell based on how like they presented it, this is something that we're really working on. Because unlike most Pokemon series, where they do this thing where they normally do this thing in most Pokemon series, so where like in the middle or towards the very end, they'll start to announce the new series like while the old series is sort of at its butt end. And they'll be like, oh, a new Pokemon series is happening right now. And they'll be like, wait, this one's not completely over yet. It felt always like they were kind of in a rush to let you know, okay, this is old, let's get it. Let's move forward with the new. Where here, they waited to the exact last episode to tell you we got new stuff happening. Which makes me feel like they were really working on this. It makes me feel like this was probably their passion project. It feels like Journeys was just a project they had to do to sort of end it off. I feel like this team was unfortunately put in a weird spot, and then the big guys in suits were like, "Okay, in Pokemon now," and they were like, "What? Fuck. Okay, fine. Ash does this, this, and this." We're here. I feel like you can sort of feel it just based on the trailer, even though the trailer is very short. You can sort of feel like there's some level of passion put into this, or to the very least, you can very much feel like, at least from that small clip we saw, they're trying their hardest to make this look good. You can feel it. Let's see what else we got. Let's read the comments. Still disappointing to know that Ash and Nemona won't interact. It'd be like that sometimes. Great minds think alike. I want those XY vibes back. This series has potential. I think I recall one of the hosts in the Pokepod mentioned that a different team working on the upcoming anime, not the same team who are working on Pocket Monsters. I'm excited for the supporting cast. We could see new characters that could grow to be someone special. It's still OLM. Guess they didn't want to spoil Ash leaving yet. Unfortunately, 2020 happened and things went awry. Now we have an open calendar without Ash. Yes, but I mean different teams with different studios. Yeah, I mean, also, obviously, as time passes, I'm sure more people are going to join that workforce now. Like, I'm trying to keep it positive. Also, with the now that we're done with the pandemic, we're not done with it. The like it still technically happens here and there, but it's not as severe as it was back then. So I want to tell myself now that this has happened, now that we're back out into the working world again, now that we're back out here doing this, I feel like this is it. This is a chance. And like I said, the expectations are lower too. Everything we get from here on out is going to be completely brand new. Now, I want to address this too because some people were very upset about this change. People were really passionate about Ash being in Paldea. They really wanted a series where Ash was in Paldea. And honestly, like I get it. I really do. You can't let go. Some people went into Pokemon late, right? Some people went into Pokemon during like the XY days, or some people went in during even earlier, maybe that the Diamond and Pearl days. Some people went into Pokemon at different times. So what seems like 26 years to like an old fan like me could definitely seem like only 4 years to somebody else, or 3, or hell, even 2. Some people are just getting to know Ash, weirdly enough, as they grow up and start watching like TV shows. So I completely get it. I completely get it. But at the same time, that's exactly the reason those episodes are still up. I believe, there's the Pokemon app that keeps those episodes up, where you can actually watch those old episodes. There's Netflix. I believe there is, Netflix shows some Pokemon episodes. I believe there's certain websites where you can watch anime. Pokemon's on those. Pokemon's not like unavailable to the public. So if you still want to watch Ash's Journeys, they're still readily available. And I don't think that takes away. The loss of Ash does not mean the loss of Pokemon. That's the beautiful part about Pokemon, is that anybody's journey is newly accessible. Hulu has them as well too. Yeah, good. That's the beautiful part about Pokemon, is that nobody loses out. This was but one possibility, but there's an endless level of possibilities with Pokemon. And that's the joy of Pokemon. And now that we've gotten like to the new step with these new characters, we can finally break those chains of limitations. We finally get new possibilities, new starts, new outcomes, new experiences, new ups, new downs. The very same anti-poke community that got together to discuss all these things with Ash and his journey and all the people it's brought together online and even in like families and homes and friends and all those people. Now we get to make more of those groups. We get to make several more of those connections. We get more of those now. Let me read the comments before it gets too filled up. This one says they're upset their childhood is gone. Uh, that was me, Tyrone. I got into the franchise during the Kalos days. I'm glad I got into Pokemon during that time. At least for those people who do not mind watching Pokemon anime dubbed. Hulu's got them too. Plus, possible Satoshi might still show up in the animated movies. That's good. So yeah, I would actually argue that's pretty much the direction Pokemon's been sort of aiming towards mostly anyway when it comes to these movies. Is like the alternate reality movies. Hell, those special sites have fan subs of previous series anyone can watch. It's just Journeys feel sour as it is technically. Ash's last series, I would have been fine with Sun and Moon. That's what a lot of people said. I think the movie and specials recently have alluded to this. Lots of downs. Just kidding, just kidding. That is understanding the fact that Satoshi's uh, aura, I think, hits this series even more. Um, I haven't heard anyone talk about this, but do you think they could still use Ash for movies? Yeah, definitely. I believe that that's the direction they've been going anyway with the Power of Us, Coco, and I Choose You. Those Pokemon movies have very much been like, okay, let's use Ash for the movies, and I think that's fine. I think that's absolutely fine. Although I really do want to see a movie with these guys. I know they just started. I'm sorry. I know they just started, but I do want to see them in a movie. I think that'd be kind of cool. I don't know. We haven't seen. So the sad part about the AU movies and with them having just Ash, we mostly see Ash and then the other characters that are involved in that movie. But we never get to see any traveling companions in movies anymore, and that makes me kind of upset. I think the last movie we got that had traveling companions in it, I want to say was XY. Yeah, I believe, yeah, the last movie. Oh, the last movie was Hoop. No, it was Volcanion. Never mind, I take that back. Never mind, I take that back. I'm sorry, I take that back. Volcanion was fine. Volcanion, so Serena, Bonnie, and Clement are the last characters to ever get movie appearances, traveling companion wise. And that honestly makes me kind of happy. But at the same time, I would have loved to see like the Sun and Moon gang in a movie. I think that would have been fine. I think that would have been fine. Hell, as much as I don't care for the character Go, I think it would have been cool to see Go in a movie. Yeah, hell, that would have been our opportunity to see Go's other Pokemon do something. But yeah, I would love I would love to see these guys in a movie. I know they're new and we don't really know them yet, but come on, don't you want to see them in a feature length film? I think that'd be great. I think that'd be okay. I like the AU movies, but I really like when traveling companions are there because a lot of people say the movies aren't canon. The movies aren't canon. They may or may not be. It doesn't really matter. But I always like to think of it. First of all, like Pokemon canosity when it comes to movies to me feels like a very irrelevant argument. Just because Pokemon movies, if you watch Pokemon as a whole, Pokemon movies take place in a non-specific area during a non-specific time, mostly with just like the Pokemon that are currently there based on where the series is at that time. For example, I remember in one Pokemon Diamond and Pearl movie, Ash still had Chimchar, Turtwig, and Dawn still had Piplup. So that means it happened early on, right? But then there's another movie that took place where the Zora movie where all the Pokemon are fully evolved. So obviously it took place during one of those times. Like okay, the Darkrai movie obviously happened at the beginning of Diamond and Pearl during some point where they were traveling and they just happened to show up at this one town. Whereas the Zorua movie happens probably before or after the Sinnoh League. That's pretty much the impression that I got, at least, was that it happened before or after the Sinnoh League. Pokemon movies don't really need a canosity because they can happen at any point, just based on when the Pokemon are. So no, I don't like. I wouldn't mind traveling companions actually being in movies again, because that's one of the things I really did like. Was I always like to think, oh, while they're traveling on their journey, they just happen to run into this city where these movie events happen, and then they went back on the journey again. It's just a side thing. It's not super important, but it's important for the time, and it takes up 90 something minutes. Why not have it, right? Um, the only movie I think that's is canon in the mainline anime is the first one, because the anime itself hints at it in one episode. Honestly, oh yeah, the Genesect movie has some stuff that happens on the sidelines too. But to me, like I said, I mean, Pokemon movies aren't necessary. Aren't necessary. They're just fun extra things that they're involved in. Yeah, that's how I've always viewed it. Just like Orion Sword, it's just something that happened. So I see no reason why not to put characters in movies. I've always felt that was fine, because everybody be like, it's not canon. What are you arguing canosity for? This is just some fun thing they decided to do, and then they came back to it. They never really reference it again, so it's fine that if it's canon or not. Now it is jarring when like a movie's happened and then Ash looks at a legendary Pokemon and goes, "What's that? I've never seen that before." That sort of gets annoying, because I'm like, it just had a whole fucking thing with it. So yeah, that's a problem. But that's generally why I say the best route to do is to keep legendaries mostly confined to movies. That's how I've always viewed it, at least. It's like legendaries are probably the best for movies and not much else. But hey, that's just a possibility. But going back to the topic at hand, people are upset, and it is understandable. I'm not gonna. This is one of those arguments that, while I don't agree with them, I do understand them. And just because you disagree with somebody doesn't mean you necessarily don't understand where they're coming from. I get it. Ash was around for 26 years. It's hard to cut off over 26 years of like knowing somebody. And again, that doesn't mean they're gone. It just means that they're not they're not the spotlight anymore, and that's okay. And that's okay. Like, I wouldn't mind if he makes like a brief cameo in this series. I don't think he needs to keep showing up, because that'll dilute his value. But I do feel like it would be nice if he showed up every now and then. Or maybe you end off the series with this woman. End it off like Yu-Gi-Oh! GX did, where Jaden ends up dueling Yugi. Like that thing, where she can have a battle against Ash. I think that would be nice. That'd be great. And that would have a lot more weight on it than Ash versus Leon. Because Ash versus Leon forced us to feel for a character that barely got any spotlight. Whereas in this series, you don't even need him to have screen time in the series. But once she fights Ash, that's a great fight, because we know who Ash is. We know his life. We've been there for 26 years. So it'll be a battle that is huge. Now, I know a lot of people will get angry and start having, if this girl happens to beat Ash, holy fucking shit. And at that point, I say end the battle ambiguously. Have like her Pokemon attack and Pikachu attack, and then it has like a huge white flash, and then it cuts to her on the road traveling to our next destination, and then it says to be continued or to our own way or whatever the fuck it's to a new beginning, some shit like that. Do that if you have to. That way we don't run into that nonsense. Yes, Ash should have a minor cameos. It's funny how Pokemon fans will understand how Yu-Gi-Oh fans feel now, and Yu-Gi-Oh fandom has to deal with it for 7 times. Ash versus Leon was a good fight, but the build-up was piss poor. I agree with that. Like the who Yugi to Jaden, you say, well, that was 3 actually connected. When Zexo came around, it was different. Yeah, although the Yugi versus Jaden example is kind of weird because I use that as an example, but we all know Yugi won that fight. Yugi beat Jaden in that duel. Like that's not up for debate. Yugi beat the shit out of Jaden, but that's fine. That's fine. Um, so basically, like what happened when Alon beat Ash. No, I think people should show her beating Ash. These people need to accept things. Plus, it would be a good way to show how far she's come as a character to new beginnings. Please, I just hope they won't catch legendaries in one throw again. That was Go, and I think they realized the mistakes of that. That's why he's completely absent. Um, Honestly, and we got to talk about design for a second here. I love these designs. I want to point this out. The boy specifically, I like his design. First of all, I want to point out the clothes that both of these characters are wearing look super comfy. And for cosplayers, this is great. Look at this. This is great. I've always felt like Pokemon, one of the things I really love about Pokemon at least, is that Pokemon always is this series where anybody can sort of dress as these characters. It was always an easy access to these characters. Except for when Ash started wearing weird shit like an AG and Diamond and Pearl. What the fuck were those jackets? Anyway, I like when the characters wear something that's easy to wear. And this looks comfy. This looks like anybody has it. It's literally just a hoodie. It looks like Sora's like little situation. You know, if you play Kingdom Hearts, it looks like Sora's situation. It's a sleeveless hoodie. He's wearing like a sleeveless hoodie, a black sleeveless hoodie, a red undershirt, and brown shorts. Everybody has that that's in their closet. That's in their closet. He's not wearing gloves, which kind of bugs me, but it'd be like that sometimes. His hat probably has a logo on it. We just can't see it yet, but for now we see he has a hat. But yeah, I like the boy's design. I really do. It looks comfy. It looks like anybody can wear it too. It looks like the only thing that would obviously differentiate it is the red fluff on the front, which is going to make for the outfit. So if you go to anime conventions and people start cosplaying as this, we're going to see a lot of people, boys specifically, cosplay as this character, and I'm here for it. I want to talk about the girl too. Oh, I like the under blue hair. Obviously, that's just a wig shop buy, where you can just buy a wig that has black over and blue under. That's easy. And then she's wearing knee-high socks. That's great. We bright knee-high socks. That's good. A white t-shirt, very easy to wear. I think she's wearing like shorts. She's wearing like thigh-high shorts. And then just a casual blue jacket. It's very easy to wear. All this stuff looks extremely comfortable. I want to say, I think I haven't talked with Polly yet, but I think Polly would like this outfit. This looks really good on her. It really does. It looks comfy. It looks comfy and easy to wear. And honestly, I think we needed that nowadays. Especially now with Pokemon, a lot of these characters were very like outfit specific. It's good to see that there's characters now wearing stuff that is comfortable. Comfortable and easy to wear. And I respect it. Oh yeah, recent series really lacking gloves. They would look so cool. She drew me in more first than Roy. Well, yeah, because she's front and center too. They shot this camera angle very well. By the way, I want to point that out too. The way they shot this camera angle, they had her clothes flow rather than them sit down. Because the clothes could have easily just sat down, but they had the clothes flow in the wind to show them off more. Like yeah, this is a very comfortable, easy thing to look and wear in. She's not wearing anything that seems overly complicated, and I respect it. The girl's name is Rico. That's not her official name. That's the fan term name. We haven't gotten her official name yet. I wonder do these characters family situations like do they have dad? Do they not have dads? Pokemon doesn't like to tackle dads, or yeah, Pokemon doesn't really like to tackle dads. I don't know. Who knows? They might do it this time around though. We just got to figure it out. Um, as far as things go though, I think um yeah, even the design wise, not just the clothes, but the color scheming is so well done. I love how they used blue for her, but they used a light blue. They didn't use a dark blue, and I was wondering why. Dark blue mostly seems like Ash's color. That's probably why. and they still wanted to pay respect to Ash. So I think they went light blue because one, it's more feminine. It's a more feminine color. She's a female, so it makes logical sense. So they had her wear a light bluish color. Plus, she's the one with the Ash like Expo Pokemon logo clipping in her hair. So I like to believe that the reason that's the case is because of dang it, I can't even think right now. I like to believe that's the case mostly because of just the layout of how colors work. And a lot of people were saying that this main character right here is supposed to be Ash's daughter. I'm surprised people aren't jumping to Kukui's daughter. Or was that Kukui's daughter, or was that did Kukui have a daughter or a son? That was a daughter, right? But yeah, Kukui had a daughter, if I'm not mistaken. Kukui's son. Kukui's son. It was a son. I thought it was a son. I thought it was a daughter. It was a son. Sorry about that. Uh, that boy could be Kukui's son. His name was Lee. So yeah, I'm surprised people aren't jumping to Kukui's son. I would have immediately thought people would think it was that. Like, oh, this is Kukui's son, right? This has got to be Kukui's son. Or at least the boy would be Kukui's son. And then the girl would just be, some character. But again, I don't I don't really feel like these characters need to be related to anybody. That's my main thing. I don't think these characters have to have any relation. I think these characters just need to sort of exist in the world of Pokemon. Um, but yeah, that's one of the things that I do like. Nah, the dude has red hair. Yeah, so nobody would know where that came from. Although Pokemon has really Pokemon doesn't really give a damn about similarities. Like, how similar is Ash to his mother? Like, Delia's hair is like this brownish color. Ash's hair is like pure black. So what? And Ash doesn't look a thing like his mother. So that people wanted another Boruto because then you can still have relations to Ash. That way, Ash has more chances to be back in the series. That's why people like. It's just like people can't let go. That's one of the big things. That's probably why. Um, yeah, it's mainly that. It's mainly that. Seems like the girl will be the new lead. Yeah, based on this camera shot angle, she definitely is the new lead. And like I said, I'm very excited. I know a lot of people even made comments about the fact that she chose Sprigatito as her starter Pokemon, which I don't understand what's so bad about that. I guess there's a lot of people that really don't like the grass typing. They probably wanted her to halfway Coco, which we don't know. We don't know what she's gonna have. I mean, I know she winds up picking Sprigatito as her start, but who's to say they might not go the Ash route and ever have all three starters while this kid in the back is just sort of catching Pokemon or something. We don't know. Um, but I don't think that should deter away from the series. I think she should wind up we just got to watch it first and see exactly what happens. And I'm definitely willing to give that a fresh chance. I see no reason why that shouldn't be the case. More of a father that we never met his father. Spriggs is the new Froakie. Yeah, where it winds up evolving and then becomes a beast afterwards, probably. I don't know. Who knows? That's that's definitely something that we're gonna look forward to. I really wonder how they're gonna handle big Pokemon battles and stuff, like tournaments and leagues and stuff. I really hope. One thing I did like from the other anime, from Ash's anime, I did like instead of having them fight an Elite Four, they just had a whole tournament, like a Pokemon League tournament. I like that idea. I wish they keep with that. It'd be cool to see some of these characters interact. I do want to see more uses of characters now that we have a new series. That means I want to see even characters of the day. I want to see them make reoccurring appearances. I want to see them really use this cast because it seemed like Pokemon was stuck into a lot of its old habits back in the day, where it's like, oh, this character only exists to show off that this Pokemon exists, or oh, this character shows up in order to be a running gag for something, or this character does this. I really want Pokemon to embrace the fact that this is a world, a new world, a whole new world, like Aladdin says, that they're building. And thus, use your cast effectively. Make it so we see certain characters show up for 1, 2, 3 episodes. Make temporary traveling companions, you know? You have some characters show up for like an arc and then leave and then come back afterwards. Make some characters show up as character of the day and then show up in the background sometimes where they're not in the spotlight necessarily, but they do get like this fun little like, oh, look at that. You can see that character from that one episode in the background. Make a character come back from a character of the day situation. Make it really dig deep into the world that you have. Utilize your characters. That's one thing I'm really hoping this series does. So if we're keeping score, embrace the technicals, really work on those anime visuals, work hard, and you can tell instead of starting this series off right at October or November like they do with most other Pokemon series, like literally right when the new game comes out, instead they decided to wait it out until January. So they're now taking their time. They're taking their time, which means you have more time on your hands, and time to me is more valuable than money. Sometimes time can make the difference between something looking like half-assed versus something looking full. So yeah, utilize those technicals. Use your time efficiently. Use that time and really, oh, the new Pokemon anime begins in April. Oh, it begins in April? Oh, that's better. That's better. That's better. That's plenty of time. That's oodles of time. That is oodles of time. That's, oh God, that's so much time. That's so much time. I love that. And I think I know why they began it in April. It's Ash's birthday. It's Ash's birthday. That's why. They began it on Ash's birthday. They are, I know exactly what they're doing. It's Ash's birthday. Ash's final chapter starts in January. Okay, got it. Sorry about that. So Ash's final chapters happens in January, and then the new series begins on in April, which is great. That's January, February, March, April. That's 4 solid months of work. That's 4 solid months of work. Yeah, they began it in April because it's Ash's birthday. Ash's journey started in April in 1997. So they're doing a callback to that. Because remember, in that episode, Ash says, now that I'm finally 10, I can start my official Pokemon journey. And that was in April. So it's a callback to that. That's exactly what they're doing. Yeah, I'm here for it. I'm completely here for it. In April, that's amazing. That's amazing. That means they have oodles of time to work with. Ooh, focus on technicals. Focus on animation. Focus on art direction. Really dig deep. The second thing, utilize those characters. Really use them. I'm not talking just the main characters. I'm talking side characters, reoccurring characters. Fully take advantage of what you got. And here's one thing I want them to also do as far as the new series. And I know this sounds like it's a very irrelevant thing, but I think we need it. Have fun. I want them to have fun. Not just the series with the characters in it. I mean the people making it. I feel like it's been a while since Pokemon's had fun. You know, fun, that thing. I'm talking putting mindless scenes of like the characters hanging out and like they go on a picnic and they're eating and like you can see like the clouds and the grass blow and certain Pokemon are interacting with each other, like looking around in certain trees and like swimming in the water. And then like these 2 new characters and whoever comes with them third, they're like having like a little battle in the background, or just walking to different areas, really taking those moments that aren't dubbed or subbed, just moments of silence where you can just absorb the world of Paldea. Really take in everything. Camera shots, panning in and out, and dynamic, and twirling around and moving up when a bird flies into the trees and moving downwards to see a Pokemon underwater, watching when bugs like have a close up on a rock where you see them like jumping around and moving and really embrace the world. That's what I want. I want Pokemon to embrace its world. I think the new anime being done by the same team who is doing the Ash specials. Yeah, so in 3 years, yeah, I think in Sun and Moon they had fun, but I get what you mean. The Pokemon world is alive. Yes. Have people. Somebody tackled this a while ago where Ash brought the trophy to Professor Oak, and when he did, we didn't see many people there. We didn't see a lot of people there. We didn't see like people gathered around. We didn't see people. But in like when Ash had like came and like I believe it was he had placed in somewhere in the Indigo Plateau. They had like a congratulations party for Ash, and Ash like all these people are here for me, and then you just see all these people with like cups and drinks, and they've got food around them and the tables, and you just saw like a full scene of something. Pokemon needs to embrace its world. Embrace its world. Really dig deep into what you got. Everything shouldn't just be like checked off box anime standards. I really want them to like bring that breath of life to this whole series. Make it so other characters are involved. Hell, it's in Paldea, so maybe the school is involved. Maybe these characters go to school for an arc. Or maybe they go to the journey right off rip. Maybe the first arc is them being in school and then them graduating and going off into the world so we get like a second section of stuff. Like the possibilities are so endless, and I really want them to embrace what they got here. I really want them to dig deep and have us realize exactly what you've got going. Where where were Ash's neighbors when he became world champion? We were missing that in Pocket Monsters, even though that was a highlight for the series early on. The OG charm that isn't there now. No, I think yeah. So it's just you like that's the thing. I feel like Pokemon is long overdue for that level of charm. I know it sounds weird, but I want them to have fun. You can definitely tell when a series is having fun with what they got with X and Y. I could tell there were people that were really passionate about Pokemon battles in that series, which is why I liked it so much. When you make Froakie versus Fletchling, a random wild battle, look as good as it does, you can definitely tell there was a lot of passion and love put into a Pokemon battle. I want to see that same level of love here. I want the soundtrack to be bopping. But I think that's gonna come. I don't even think. First of all, Paldea has some good music already, so I feel like that's gonna transfer over. Also, Toby Fox did the music for the games. I want to tell myself. I really want to tell myself. Hey, thank you, Spinner, for subscribing. I appreciate it. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. A Zorua figure. Nice, nice. What's up, Spinner? What's up, Spinner? I missed a lot, didn't I? Yeah, Corn, we were talking for like an hour, but these are just things that I'm talking about that I want from the new series. Pokemon rarely misses when it comes to music. When it comes to music, so Toby Fox is American, and he's on the team making a lot of music now. I really, really, really want to tell myself that maybe the dub can use that music now. I mean, obviously, this is just high hopes. Probably not because Game Freak still owns the fucking license. But I really do want the like for those dub watchers. I really want them to have that good music because Scarlet and Violet has some really good tracks that I really hope make an appearance in this. I hope that music is just bopping. Like, think about it. Can't wait till we hear like this girl fighting another trainer, and you can hear the penny theme in the background. Or imagine the kid is fighting a trainer, right? But he's fighting a trainer that's too strong for him. So they play like the Elite Four, the ban, 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 dan, 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 dun, 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 dun. And they have 5 wild battle things. Oh my goodness. Can you imagine what will happen if we played like the freaking Area Zero theme? Oh, that would be beautiful. We get like the Area Zero theme playing during one of the Pokemon battles. That would be amazing. Just to like look at a battle and all of a sudden you hear like and all of a sudden you hear and then they're like fighting like underground or something in like that cave with all the crystals, and they're fighting like Glamoa and shit, and like all the prehistoric or the Paradox Pokemon and the Iron Valiant and stuff. That would be awesome. That would be great. I would love that. Or like this girl finally gets to meet Nemona, and they fight in Mesagosa, and when they fight in Mesagosa, you hear like and then it's like this huge thing, and they show like the versus screen with her and Nemona, and it's like, whoa, bam! And then the fight starts, and we see like the camera whip around while Meowscarada is like fighting Palmon or something. That would be so cool. Like that would be amazing. I really want them to embrace what they got here. Uh, Will the Dubs OST stinks? That would be terrible. No, it'd be funny. Big shoes to fill is what I'm saying. That's not what I mean. It would be shit if we really were Ash, if we related Ash, because we're not really letting him go. Exactly. Yeah. I know I'm late, but how would you feel if she's Ash's daughter? I don't want her to be Ash's daughter because it feels like the world would be too connected. Anyway, but they don't tell us who the mother is, like how we know who the Ash's mother is, but we don't know who Ash's father is. I feel like the final chapters are finally going to cover that father thing. I don't know. That's one. Oh, if we're going back to the final chapters for Ash, I feel like that's one thing that they should probably do. I feel like they at least owe us that now. Come on. I feel like we got to get that. I feel like we kind of really got to get that now. It feels kind of weird that they haven't given us that one. I feel like the final chapter should at least give us that one. At least. There's a very popular manga anime series that's currently doing the New World, and I'm happy that Pokemon is finally doing it. I just want them to address the goddamn Pokemon Masters topic. They probably won't, sadly. Kukui is his dad. Well, technically, that's his adopted father. Is the dub would still be Go-Fi? I don't know. His name Go-Far, but it's him again. We don't know. What series is that, Acorn? But yeah, I would love it. I would love hearing like, because I hated what movie 20 did with that shitty Pokemon Masters explanation. Yeah, that was terrible. Yeah. But honestly, yeah, I'm really looking forward to them like really playing with what works and what doesn't work. And I'm here for it. I'm here for exactly what they're planning to do with this new Pokemon series. Let's just review over the things I'm wanting again. Embrace the technicals, really work on that art style and those camera animations. I'm talking really work hard to make those Pokemon battles look super good. Even the wild battles, like I want those battles to look really crisp. Because this is Pokemon, and I feel like that'd be a big draw. Plus, this is a new series, so I feel like there's a lot of pressure right now for this to look good. If it looks bad, people can literally just erase it off the face of the planet and just go, not my main character. Ashes will forever be my main character. This series is trash. And sadly, unfortunately, first impressions are important. First impressions and presentation are important. Like, I'm not going to sit up there and take that away. I feel like presentation and first impressions are very important to have just because it really sets the stone for what you're expecting in a series. Visuals aren't the only thing that make a series, but they are important, especially if you're looking for the first time. It all begins with eyesight. Everything starts with eyesight. So having this series exist, you really have to take into those visuals and how much are they willing to embrace those. So we need that series to look good, which is why I'm so glad the series is starting in April. I'm glad the series is starting in April. The second thing I said I wanted, embrace those characters. Really embrace those characters. Yeah, like Chun just said. Chun Ains said XY makes stellar first impression. That's exactly why XY did so well. And also, XY didn't have any attachments to older series. It did everything mostly on its own accord, with Delia only showing up towards the very end, and Professor Oak being brought up at the end. But outside of that, it had its own deal, so it could last its own. It's self-contained, which is why it works so well. But yeah, so yeah, really embrace the characters. This is the first time ever Pokemon has a completely new cast, an entire new cast. Embrace that cast. Make them really feel like a family. Sun and Moon did a really good job with their cast. So I feel like this series could do it too. Especially with the video games. Paldea did a relatively good job with most characters being together and unified, with the exception of maybe the gym leaders. The gym leaders were sort of, okay, I'm a gym leader and I also do this job, and that's about it. That was, I think, the only one they put a lot of work into, oddly enough, was Larry, but that's for reasons. Um, really embrace that and have fun. I said have fun was the third thing I really want this Pokemon series to do. I want them to have a lot of fun. Bring that charm. Breathe life into this world. I want this world to have a breath of life. And I want them to be in a movie. I know, yeah, that I know I'm skipping ahead way too far here, but I want to see these two in a movie. Or not even just these two, whatever the full cast is. I want them to be in a movie. Come on now. It feels like it's been a while since we've had a cast movie. Let them be in a movie. I see why not. They look fine. I think they could, like, check it. She'll have her first movie. I don't think her first movie needs to happen right away. I think we still need to let Ash sort of be in the movie spot for a bit. But at some point towards like year 2, give her a movie. Give her a movie with the cast. Like I said, I miss having a cast movie. I really do. I really do. I feel like Pokemon's been long overdue for a movie that involves an entire working cast again. So yeah, anyway, I think I've said all I really need to say here. This might wind up ended up being one of our shorter ones. And that's fine because later on tonight we're gonna be doing Sonic Frontiers. And in fact, I'm gonna be doing a longer stream of Sonic Frontiers later tonight because I know I'm towards the end. Donnie Art said that I'm towards the end of Sonic Frontiers, or at least closer to the end. So I really want to go ahead and try to get to the end of Sonic Frontiers. So I'll probably be going ahead and ending early just so I can get some rest and get ready for that. But I ran the roundtable today because I really just wanted to discuss like my initial thoughts on this. And obviously during the PokePod, I'll discuss this in much further detail. And I do have a special announcement for the PokePod that relates to this series. I was gonna do it on the roundtable, but I think it'll be better to go ahead and hop on the pod and go ahead and watch it. So if you're looking forward to what that could possibly be, check out KG Prestige's channel later this Monday, and then watch the PokePod. And I will have a special announcement regarding this new series. And for those of y'all who have known me for a while, I think some of you guys might guess what it already is. So you guys are probably going to be guessing in the chat right now, and I won't say what it is, but I guarantee you guys might like it. I think you guys are probably gonna like it. With that being said, though, later tonight we've got Sonic Frontiers, and then after that, check out the Insane Game Freak as he will be doing some more Xenoblade Chronicles. And then after that, we've got I think TSS may be streaming around the same time. It depends on how things are going, or he might be streaming right before, just like me, and then just raid Terrell like we both did the last time. But either way, you got content all around the board. And then tomorrow will be the start of Genshin Impact. We'll be doing we'll be streaming Genshin Impact. So make sure you look forward to that. I believe Cosmic may join us for that. It depends on how things go, if she's readily available. But if not, We're embracing a lot of good stuff happening right now. It's a new era. It's a new year. It's a new era. It's time to move forward, out with the old, in with the new. And let me clarify this before I head off. I'm gonna miss Ash too, guys. I really want. I think a lot of people think that I'm just this very cynical person that's been like very jaded towards Pokemon. I'm not. I just try to look for progress, and I knew that Ash was hitting a wall, and I don't want. And the reason I made the comments that I made on like the Pokepod and on Twitter or during my reviews is because I care. I care about Ash. I like Ash. I care about him, and it's because I care about him that I want this to happen because I would much rather his story end well than to continue suffering. Sometimes it hurts less to let go. It hurts less to let go. Holding on, holding on winds up doing more damage in the long run than letting go. Holding on is great, I get it. But the world changes. Things change. We develop, we grow. And I would much rather me go back and talk with like a new generation of kids about when back in my day, this kid was the main character. And they ask who's Ash, and I'll be like, who's Ash? And then you get like that dun 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 dun. I wanna be the very best. And then we get all of that. And then they're like, who is Ash? And then I'm like, just watch these. And then I can hand those kids like some of Ash's old adventures. So the adventures that I've been through for 26 years are brand new to them. And then they can think about it. And then they can take the stories of this girl and this guy or whatever and toss those over to their kids. Pokemon is meant to be a generation after generation thing, but it starts the moment we decide to pass it. We can't selfishly just hold on thinking that it's going to last forever. Good things come to an end, but the end doesn't mean that things are bad. The end is just the beginning. And that's what I love about this. Of course I'm going to miss Ash, guys. I watched him since RIP. I watched him in the beginning. You don't think I thought it was cool how he was running away from the Spearows and he was like, I'm going to capture and defeat you all. And Pikachu jumps on his shoulder and shocks all the Spearows and they get knocked, Ash and Pikachu get knocked out and it starts several creepypasta theories. But after that, Ash and Pikachu look up in the air and they see like Ho-Oh, but we don't know what Ho-Oh is yet because Gold and Silver didn't come out. So we get like this huge, like, what's the world of Pokemon like? What's these new possibilities? You don't think I missed that? Of course I do. I wouldn't be here right now at age freaking 30 talking about this stuff if I didn't care. I loved it. Through the ups, through the downs, through the Pikachu losing against Snivy, through the Ash and X and Y fighting off against Sawyer and Alon in one of the most epic battles I've ever seen in my life, through Ash becoming champion and Alola, through him fighting like Leon, through his relationship with like Serena, through like everything that we've seen, like when he has his squabbles with Misty in the forest because they got lost again between him saying bye to Brock for the final time in Diamond and Pearl, through him and May cutting the terracotta ribbon in half. I loved this shit. I loved it all. I loved every step of the way. Through Ash and Silent having tag team battles on the subway, through Ash and Iris having their bicker moments where Iris called Ash a kid, but them swinging on vines and trees, through Bonnie having like that moment where she talked with how her brother is to Ash, and they had that huge battle at the gym at the Lumio City Gym. I through Sun and Moon, through their moments where they hung out like and all decided to like go to an island together with the Morlols, and they got to see all these glowing Morlols everywhere, and I loved all of that. All of it. I was there for the whole way through. There's some things I was positive and negative about. There was some things that I was very critical about. There was some things I liked and disliked. But it all came out of this range of caring. So yes, I'm upset that Ash is leaving. I'm not sitting up here going, thank God he's gone. I mean, yes, I like that he's gone because now it opens a new chapter. We get to fully realize the new beginning. And that doesn't mean, and Ash leaving doesn't mean Pokemon's dead. This is somebody else's chance to start their journey, make new memories, make new chapters. We might fast forward 20 years from now and like you will see a stream, somebody's on a stream, right? And just like me, and they're just going like, this girl was my favorite character. I'm glad that she's leaving because like somebody does the same thing I'm doing right now. Who knows? We won't know until the future pans itself out. Now, this girl, this main character here, she can start making memories. She can start becoming a hero. She can start being an icon to people. And now it continues. We finally get to move on, and I am fully here for it. So, congratulations, Pokemon. And to Ash Ketchum, you started off as being a Pokemon trainer, and I can definitely say as the time has passed, for as vague as the definition is, you've become a Pokemon master. And thank you for all the memories along the way. So, with that being said, I think we're going to go ahead and end it. Make sure you stay tuned. Sonic Frontiers later tonight. We're going to try to get in as many hours in Sonic Frontiers as we can. Until then, check me out next time as I have my opinions on the series during the PokePod. And we're also probably going to review the Journeys episodes too. Yeah, we're going to review the Journeys episodes as well. So we got a lot to talk about, obviously, and I'm here for it. So that being said, guys, thank you all so much. I think we averaged around more than 20 viewers this whole stream. I really want to thank you all. Appreciate it. Glad you all were here to listen to the Poco Roundtable. Huge success. Wherever you guys go, whether you want to watch it, and this is for people who want to end it at Ash, because that's the possibility too. That's what it does. It gives you the possibility to go, okay, my journey ended with Ash. I no longer want to watch the anime. You're free to do that. Back then, I heard a lot of people would force themselves to watch the anime because they're like, myself included, would go, I got to see how Ash's journey ends. I got to see how Ash's journey ends. Now you see it. Now it's there. And because of that, now that it's there, you can make that choice. You can stick around or you can move forward. That's a choice that you have to make now. Now there's nothing happening. This may be goodbye to some, but it's going to be hello to others. How cool is it going to be when new people start coming into the anime and you start making new friends in the community and talking with new people on how things are going and their likes and dislikes and the discussions and the podcast and the groups. There'll be a group just like the PokePod that'll consist of like a bunch of new people and they may make a podcast. Like it's beautiful to see something like this because it awakes for something new. It's just like a dying star. One leaves, but it makes for a new. And you gotta love that. No matter if it's good or bad, you can't help but embrace it. So, that being said, gonna go ahead and end it off. Sonic Frontiers, make sure you check that out on the pod. We'll definitely be discussing it. Make sure you tune in for that as well, too. So, with that being said, Tyron the God 3 out.